Good afternoon, and thank you for asking me to record my comments. Well, I think in this particular instance, President Biden and his advisors have actually got the picture right in the South Caucasus. I do feel that trade is the great lever in warring regions or previously warring regions generally, and actually creates some degree of trust and understanding between previously warring nations, particularly if they are focused on some of the most essential elements of life, that is food, energy, and so forth. Already we are seeing a substantial amount of trade between Armenia and Azerbaijan, primarily in the electricity sphere, and that has been actually incrementally increasing, particularly since the end of the Second Karabakh War in 2020. But still, there's a lot of work to do, and we are still only talking a few months after the ending of the unrecognised illegal Armenian regime existing in Khankendi. And I think that there's a lot of confidence building to do, and indeed trade is the way around this. Certainly in the past, during Soviet times and during the Russian Empire, we saw Azerbaijanis and Armenians working together, founding business together, of course intermarrying and so forth on a personal level. So we do need to actually try and get some of that understanding on a human level back. And I think it's now going to be easier now the demarcation lines are being drawn, but also so that in that Russia itself is leaving the equation. As we all know, Russia has withdrawn its support for Armenia under the Pashinyan administration, and recently has withdrawn its so-called peacekeeping troops from Azerbaijani territory. In fact, it's fundamentally given up on both Armenia and Azerbaijan as its outposts in the South Caucasus, and is now looking towards Georgia. So I think that we're actually going to see a situation, as with the peace talks, that Armenia and Azerbaijan will be free to talk to each other. I think that can only be a good thing. I think that Azerbaijan, of course, is very much seen to have the upper hand in the South Caucasus at the moment. Certainly it is the biggest energy producer, it's got the strongest economy, and it's very much responsible for the construction of the Middle Corridor and other enormous infrastructural developments that are taking place at the present time. It's also the IT centre of the South Caucasus, so very much controls all telecommunications, internet, and so forth. So I think that certainly Armenia and Azerbaijan will start to trade together, particularly as Armenians of all walks of life realise that they are actually finally, after 34 years of independence, getting their true independence away from Russia, and are free to do business with whoever they please. And of course, that natural partner will be Azerbaijan. Now, as I say, it's not going to be an easy path. The diaspora, Armenian diaspora outside of the country, will not be in favour of this. And of course, there are plenty of war veterans and die-hard persons who support the occupation of Karabakh and have great mistrust of Azerbaijanis who will stand in the way. And of course, there is the propaganda that's been pumped out over the last 35 years, which is not going to help matters in actually regaining this trust between Armenians and Azerbaijanis. But ultimately, I do feel that trading between the countries is certainly going to help them get beyond the current post-war footing and actually be to their mutual benefit. So thank you very much.